Welcome to another episode of Bad Brad's Cajun Cooking. Hey, today we're gonna do Meatball Stew point 2. 2.0 was what I mean. Let's get this thing going. Ow! I'm calling this Meatball Stew 2.0 because if you saw episode 14, I do my very first meatball stew. I make a homemade roux and I do it a little bit different. I brown my meatballs and all that, but I'm gonna show y'all this way. This is another way where if you don't have time to make a homemade roux, we got some store-bought roux, and I'm telling you, it's hard to beat this one right here. It's called Carrie's roux. When you open it, you're gonna see you're gonna have a little grease on top. That's all right. We're gonna add that little grease right here, there. We're gonna start sauteing. I'm using a half an onion, half a bell pepper, and about a half a stick of celery. So we're gonna start off sauteing our vegetables with that little bit of grease, and then I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna use my roux. All right, for our meatballs, it's a total of 3 pounds of meat. 1 3/4 pound of ground chuck, and about 1 pound and 0.30 of pork. Okay, so what we're gonna put in them meatballs? Honestly, it's very similar to making a meatloaf. Like the last meatloaf I did, it's basically the same ingredients. I'm gonna use 2 eggs right here. This is a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Mix that up. We got our pork, kind of blend the pork and the beef up a little bit like that. We're gonna add this. 1 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I got a half a bell pepper and a half a onion right here. This right here, this is some homemade chow chow. If you go to episode 81, I'll show you how to make this chow chow. It's jalapeno, little onion, garlic, but you'll have to go and see. This is going to be the secret to success. Let's do 2. They're going to want to know what's in the meatball. Okay, right here, little minced garlic. Let's go with 2 spoons like that. Okay, what else I need up in there? Some parsley. I need to chop me some parsley. Okay, Ariana, we've been sauteing a little bit. It's all right. Hey, look, I'm feeling like putting a little rotel in this one. So I'm gonna put a half a can. Hey, sometimes I put it, sometimes I don't. It's kind of like sometimes I drink Dos Equis, but when I do, it makes me very happy. Right here, for our roux, I'm gonna put some in right now. I'm gonna put probably half of this jar. This is a 16-ounce jar. And we're just gonna let it melt in with our onions. Hey, don't forget to go in the link in the description or at the end of the video. You're gonna see I have a QR code. It'll show you where I got these forged blade knives. I have a link you can go to. Man, there's all kind of knives you can choose. I love these knives. You gotta have the right tool for the job, plain and simple. That's gonna be our last ingredient, I think. And of course, black pepper. I like that black pepper. All right, we're ready to mix this up. Oh, I forgot the most important ingredient. Bad Brad's crop dust. What I'm doing? I'm slipping. I ain't even drink a beer yet. We got the crop dust that. I put that too. It coats the top. All right, I'm going for about 3 meatballs per pound. I ended up making 14 meatballs. Okay, we're ready to start adding some water. My roux started to melt. It's about 1.5 quarts of water. This ought to get it going. We're gonna cook this. I'll probably cook this for about 1.5 hours before I put my meatballs in. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm gonna do with I'm gonna do a little Corn Macque Choux on the side. If it's out of corn season, you can't get like the whole corn to shuck. I'm gonna show you this way right here. It's not bad at all. Trust me, Shy. We're gonna use 3/4 stick of butter. I got some onions and celery right here. And then we're gonna use the other 1/2 can of that rotel. Okay, and we're just gonna saute that real good. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. So when I first started, and you put the rotel in, it has a lot of water in it, and so it, you know, once all that water balls down, see how it starts frying in the butter? Okay, and it's sauteing. Okay, now I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of minced garlic. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little bit of bam in there, a little parsley. Okay, now I'm going with that. That's a jumbo can of, right here, whole kernel corn, okay? And all we're gonna do is, I'm not adding no salt, no nothing. We're just gonna let that ball down in its own juice, and I'm gonna show y'all the next step after a while. Okay, back to our meatball stew. I'm gonna show y'all 2 secrets right here we're gonna add. Secret number 1, mushroom steak sauce. Okay, 1 little can. That's what, a 6-ounce can. And then we're gonna get that, y'all know I use that chicken bouillon a lot. If you don't have this, you can use some chicken stock, but I'm gonna start off with about a tablespoon. All right, so for our corn, you could see a lot of that water balled out. Okay, and that's what you want. You're gonna have the seasoning from the rotel is gonna give you that little kick, and then the butter's got some salt in it, and plus the corn's got salt. Once that water balls out, it kind of you know, it's more concentrated. So you want to taste it before you add anything in it. So now that we got all the water balled out, we're gonna add a can of cream corn. Okay. Now you got to be careful right here. Right when it comes to a ball, you can shut it off, because that cream's gonna want to stick at the bottom, you know. So it's pretty much cooked by right now, but let it come back to a ball, you can shut it off, and it's ready to serve. This has been cooking for about an hour and a half. We're ready to put our meatballs in. Look, I bet y'all never seen this before on this one. You just drop them in raw, okay? Now, like I said, you can go to episode 14. I brown the meatballs, but this is just another way of doing them. I find it gives a really good beef broth, because it balls that meat in there, and you get a good flavor from it. So just trust me on this. You trust me? Okay. And we're gonna let this go for about an hour. And it's gonna be cooked. You don't want to stir it right now. Let them meatballs start firming up. You don't want nothing to break. See how they want to do that? They want to be acting up. Just kind of give it a little shake, and they're going to settle in there. All right? All right, so I've had it covered for maybe about 5 minutes. Let it come to a ball. You don't want to stir anything yet. Just kind of shake it like this. You see how they're floating right there? So you want to let that go for about 15-20 minutes before you can start kind of scraping the bottom, make sure nothing's stuck. This meatball stew is just about done, but I got one more little secret to put in there, because I'm going to bring my mom a plate, and my mom's a very good cook. She taught me a lot, but you always got to have something in your back pocket. So every good cook, you got to keep a stash of gravy. This is just a little bit of beef gravy that I froze, because she gonna want to know what's in there, but she ain't got to know everything, but you do. And we just gonna add to that flavor. Look at that. Now look, if you don't have the gravy, this meatball stew is still gonna be awesome. Y'all just, you know, hey, you got to turn good into greatness. So this is what I'm doing right here. It's just a little secret. And you know, next time you cooking a beef roast or a pork roast, and And you got to remember that, hey, I'm going to save that gravy for next time I do a meatball stew. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with adding a little bit to it. But like I said, if you don't have it, it's still going to be fabulous. But this, whoo, y'all, look how them meatballs, they all stay together. They're going to be just awesome. Through this process, before I put the meatballs in, you know, your roux cooks down. You got to add water and get it to where you want it. And after the meatballs had been in there, I tasted it, and the pepper's there. Bad Brass Crop Dust, it don't lie, bro. That thing, it's on point. But it needed a little salt, so I put another tablespoon of that chicken bouillon, and it did the trick. So we're about to plate this thing up. Oh, see the onion tops? Like, tops. Frow. Oh, get in there. All right. Cool. Okay, we ready to take a bite of this thing. Oh, this came out good. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see how tender that meatball is. Oh, snap. Y'all, look how pretty. God, dog. Ooh, Myrna. Hey, my mama, Myrna, gonna be wondering what's in them meatballs. Oh, I got that chow chow in there. No way. Mm-mm. Y'all, this is good. I'm not gonna, oh, I had a little rice in my throat. Hey, look, and you can't even tell the meatballs weren't brown. That's the secret. Drop them meatballs in, get that good broth. I'm telling you. Y'all, I'm getting another bite. Remember, anybody wants to know the secret, you know where to tell them to go. That's Bad Brass Cajun Cooking. Thank y'all so much for watching. That's a yowza!